She paid $500,000 for her app. She got nothing. The agency collapsed in a matter of weeks. This is the Appster scandal, and in 2026, it is still happening a lot. Linda needed an app for her waste management startup, EasyBin, so she went to Appster. These guys were on the Young Founders on the Forbes Under 30s list, valued at $58 million in the early 2010s, and they looked legitimate. They promised her the world: professional support, experienced developers, a working app in months. She signed the contract for over $500,000. 18 months later, her app wasn't even delivered and none of it was working. And Appster collapsed in a matter of months, leaving hundreds of clients with nothing. Here's why this matters to you in 2026, because the same thing is happening right now with these AI app agencies and these no-code consultants. They're using the exact same playbook, just with different buzzwords. Let me show you exactly what happened and how to avoid getting burnt the same way. Appster's sales process began with something called Traction Labs, an 8-week workshop that cost clients in upwards of $50,000. You'd come into their office, their team would spend weeks with you mapping out your app idea, so by the end you'd have over 200 user stories detailing every single feature of the app. So everything looked perfect on paper, right? Linda walked out of that workshop glowing. She thought she found the perfect app development partner. But here's what she didn't know. That workshop was designed to sell you a dream, not build you an app. Because the team actually running those workshops weren't developers who were actually going to build your app. They were actually salespeople with design skills. So when Linda's app started to get built, the critical features were actually missing. Her waste management app had no way to track drivers or bins, which was the core functionality of the entire app. When she raised these concerns, Appster just kept telling her everything was on track. Don't worry, just trust the process. Be patient, it's all going to come together. Don't worry. But in the end, it never did. And today, AI agencies are saying the same thing when their chatbots don't work or their automation breaks for the AI created apps. Let me tell you how that Appster's business model actually worked, because this is the exact same model that's being replicated right now. They charge clients around about $50,000 for a very basic app, but the actual cost to build it, maybe around about $5,000. That's a 400% markup. How is this? Because they use cheap contractors in India charging Australian or USD prices. So these contractors were overpaid, underworked, and often didn't understand the projects that they were building. Now look what's happening in 2026. AI app agencies are charging you $50,000 to build you a custom app solution. But what are they actually doing? They're using ChatGPT or Claude API that charges them $200 a month, wrapping your app around in a basic interface and charging you enterprise prices. So this markup is actually insane because you don't know the actual things that actually cost in 2026. One former Appster client described their development process as pulling teeth. Another said every iteration of the app was worse than the last one. Can you imagine that? Every single time they tried to make an improvement, it was actually worse. But the money kept flowing in for Appster because Appster on the front end looked successful. They were on the Forbes list, Young Rich list, international offices in New York City and San Francisco. Today's AI agencies also look successful as well. Slick websites, AI buzzwords, case studies that look impressive, but dig deeper and you find the exact same problems and the exact same lookalikes as from 10 years ago. Here's how the scam is playing out in 2026 with dodgy AI app and no-code agencies. So what they'll say is that they'll promise you an AI customized app solution specifically for your business, but what you actually get is a wrapper around ChatGPT that breaks consistently and costs you around about $500 a month in API fees that you didn't even know about. They promise you a fully automated workflow that saves you 20 hours a week, but what you get is a Zapier integration that stops working every single week and requires constant maintenance. They promise you to build you a cutting-edge app built within no code within a matter of days. But what you get is a bubble app that loads in around about 12 seconds and can't handle more than 100 users at a time without crashing. The promises have changed in 2026, and also the technology has gotten a lot more advanced, but the scam is almost identical. And just like Appster 10 years ago, many of these agencies will collapse overnight, leaving you with nothing. because I'm seeing this happening right now, especially when I'm doing the initial consultations with my potential clients. Agencies popping up left and center claiming to be AI experts who started learning about AI literally about 2 months ago, because the barrier to entry to learn is so low at the moment that anybody can call themselves an AI agency right now, and clients can't tell the difference between someone who knows what they're doing and someone who's just reselling ChatGPT prompts. So these are the warning signs that you need to look out for in 2026. So warning sign number 1 is that they use buzzwords without explaining what they mean. For example, they could say, we use advanced AI agents with RAG architecture and vector databases. Okay, so what does this mean and how does this apply in my business? If they can't explain this in simple terms of what it is and how it applies in your business, they're hiding behind jargon. Warning sign number 2 is that they promise custom AI but won't show you what's actually custom. Because are they actually going to be building something proprietary that's custom for you, or are they just using open APIs for some prompts? There's nothing wrong with using existing tools, but don't be paying for custom prices for commodity technology. Warning sign number 3, no-code agencies that won't tell you which platform that they're using. If they're using Bubble, Flutterflow or Webflow, you should know this, because you need to understand the limitations and the ongoing costs of these platforms. Because if they're vague about it and they won't tell you, they're hiding behind something. Warning sign number 4, they can't show you working products. Demand to see live products that they've actually built. Ask for their portfolio, not just screenshots, actual working apps or API tools that real users are actually using right now. If they can't show you this, it's a bit of a red flag. So what does this mean for you? This app's a story that I'm telling you about. It happened around about a decade ago, but the lessons are just more relevant than ever, especially in 2026, because it's easier for scammers to look legitimate. They can build impressive websites in AI within a matter of hours. They can create case studies by using ChatGPT, and they can create fake testimonials that look like real agencies. But underneath, they're doing the exact same thing that Appster did around about a decade ago, overcharging for outsourced and automated work, over-promising and under-delivering, taking your money and leaving you with nothing. The difference is in 2026 is that you have more power to protect yourself. You can validate your ideas yourself with free AI tools. You can build prototypes with no-code platforms for under $30 a month, and you can test before you invest big money. Don't let agencies pressure you into expensive contracts before you've proven that your app idea works. And also, don't pay for enterprise prices for commodity AI tools. And also, don't trust impressive websites and buzzwords from AI agencies over actual working product. Because the Appster scandal left hundreds of businesses burnt and millions of dollars gone. And in 2026, the same thing is happening with AI agencies and dodgy no-code consultants who don't know jack shit, using the exact same playbook. Don't let it happen to you. Now, if you guys need any help in regards to designing and developing your app from the ground up, and you don't want to be ripped off, and you actually want to work with an experienced software engineer who has over 6 years experience designing and developing apps from the ground up, not just utilizing AI app builders, I can help you out with that. So if you are interested in working with me, click on the link below to book in your free call, and let's work together. Thank you for watching today's video. It's a bit of a different video for you guys today, but I really hope you guys enjoyed the storytelling video that I'm explaining with you guys today. And I like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.